How do you say goodbye to an officer who gave all he had, who, when push came to shove, stood up and said, "I'll handle this"? Well, up to 1,000 police officers and a grateful community tried at Officer Renn's funeral. Derek Thomas continues our coverage of the day dedicated to Officer Renn.
Perry Renn was an exemplary patrolman. After a 2-hour ceremony, we all learned the reasons why.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Renn was that officer in a dark alley at 34th and Forest Manor. He responded to a report of shots fired and accepted the challenge of his dangerous profession.
And on that terrible, horrible night, he confronted evil and protected fellow officers and the citizens of the neighborhood. His actions certainly saved lives at the expense of his own.
It was a life that was committed to the service of the general community and to his neighbors. The bottom line is he was Mr. Dependable.
I'm here for you. You can count on me. And Perry's on duty. You're good to go.
He was tough and he was by the book. And this fight is not over.
He was very steadfast in his resolve to make it clear to the bad guys and those that carry weapons, you're not welcome here. We'll continue to fight the good fight for him and continue to make this place a safer place. I promise you that.
New police recruits were in the funeral audience. Public Safety Director Troy Riggs challenged them to be as good a person and an officer as Perry Renn. Derek Thomas, RTV6.
And after the service, hundreds of police cars and the hearse carrying Officer Renn's body made the slow drive to Crown Hill Cemetery, but not before making a final stop at IMPD North District, where Officer Renn started each and every working day. RTV6 reporter Jack Reinhardt joins us live there with more on this very emotional moment. Jack.
Officer Perry Renn worked 15 years of his 21-year career here in the service of the North District. He was described as a low-key officer who took care of business. And many of the people that he served and protected came out today to wish him Godspeed on his journey home. Renn worked in arguably the most violent and impoverished neighborhoods on the district. Last year, the 46218 zip code led the city in homicides and non-fatal shootings. But this is where Renn wanted to work, where he chose to make a stand, where he wanted to make a difference in the quality of life of the people he served, protected, and died for.
Attention all cars. On July 5th, 2014, Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department Officer Perry Renn answered his final call. While responding to a call of shots fired, Officer Renn bravely entered the unknown, committed and unafraid.
Every day we take advantage of the things that we have, and we take advantage of life, and Officer Renn didn't think twice about putting his life on the line to protect other people. And I mean, the least I can do is come down here and pay my respects to the family and the department.
And this week, Officer Renn was posthumously awarded the department's Medal of Honor as well as a Purple Heart. And to the very end, Perry Renn lived up to the oath of office he took more than 21 years ago to give up his life in the service of others. Reporting live at North District Headquarters, Jack Reinhardt, RTV6.
Jack, thank you. Hundreds of citizens stopped what they were doing in the middle of the day to line the streets along the procession route. They didn't know Officer Renn personally, but are touched by his sacrifice and wanted to show their respect to Renn's family and to fellow law enforcement officers.
You don't appreciate them when you don't need them, but when you need them, boom, you want them. And then when a guy comes in with, it doesn't have to, and he comes in and risks his life and all that, you got to give him respect.
It's just very somber, and it just seems very, I wouldn't necessarily say heartwarming, but it just, it's comforting. I mean, just to see that everybody's reacting this way towards all the violence. Hopefully it makes a change. Hopefully people can wake up and realize that it doesn't need to be this way.
Some businesses even closed so everyone could come out as the procession passed by.